Thanks everyone for joining this call. So in today's session, we will be seeing how you can implement SharePoint Framework solutions using PNP reusable React controls. Okay, so myself, I'm Vijay Anand, and I'm a Microsoft MVP and working as a technology architect in Cognizant. Okay, and also I'm a blogger, author, and I have presented many sessions in multiple events like SharePoint Saturdays, boot camps, and other things. Okay. So in today's meeting, we will be seeing this particular agenda, like a PNP overview, and then PNP reusable React controls overview, and how to make use of that React controls. And then the next thing is PNP reusable property pane controls. Okay, and then we'll have a demo for that. And if there is any question and answers, we'll go through it. Okay, before even getting into PNP overview, we'll just give an overview of SharePoint Framework. I think most of you would have started using SharePoint Framework and implementing solutions using SharePoint Framework. So basically, it's a modern client-side development, and it is being used for developing solutions in SharePoint modern team sites and communication sites, right? So it can be web part solutions or it can be extensions, and there are a lot of things that you can do with the help of SharePoint Framework. It's not only focused towards only SharePoint, it can be used for building solutions for other Office 365 services also, such as like Microsoft Teams and Outlook add-ins. So it's like you can make use of this framework for building solutions for other services. Okay, so I'll not go into detail about these things like the just an eye level. I'll give you the like what is the latest version of this one. So version 1.10 is the latest one, which was released in Jan 2020. And these are the major features which were part of that one, like Office add-ins, search extensions, Teams, personal apps, SP list subscription, and pre-allocate space for your application customizer. Okay, so these were the new features that were released in Jan 2020 as part of version 1.10. So in case if you want to go and see all the features, like whatever the release notes, so you can just I have provided the links to that. And currently, like if you see like from 2017, there are close to 10 major versions. Okay, so you can just go through each and everything. And in case if you want to see what are the features available, you can go through this release notes. Okay. So coming to PNP overview, so almost I think most of you would be using it or you might be aware of that. Okay, so PNP is basically the patterns and practices. Okay, where it provides you a lot of tools and guidance to build or build the solutions basically, right? Which follows all the best practices. It is mainly old. It's done by the open source. It's like a kind of open source where the community leaders and community people contribute to that, even including Microsoft. Okay, so there are a lot of things happening as part of PNP, which you could make use of it. You no need to basically reinvent something. There are a lot of reusable solutions available and guidance available, tools, packages, libraries, a lot of things are available as part of this one where all the best practices are followed. Okay, so you don't need to just if you want something, you can reuse that since it is already following all the best practices. So it's like learn, reuse, and share. That is what the PNP is. Okay, so PNP overview, if you see, there are different things that is part of PNP. One is the guidance, okay, guidance, sample solutions, SDKs, tools. Okay, before even getting into guidance, there are a lot of events happening. I'll just open the site also quickly. So this is the PNP site, okay, and you can see all the options that are available over here. So community calls, there are a lot of community calls happening. So you can see here for each topic, which is part of Microsoft 365 for Microsoft Graph, SharePoint, Teams, and Identity. So there are a lot of community calls happening on weekly basis or monthly basis, which you can make use of it, where you will be having the demos, tutorials, or videos. Everything will be available as part of these community things. Okay. So as a guidance, if you see, there are a lot of community content available and best practices basically. Okay. And SharePoint modernization, what are the practices that you need to follow when you're modernizing the SharePoint pages, modernizing the SharePoint sites? And as I mentioned earlier, PNP weekly webcasts, demos, videos, tutorials, everything is available as part of guidance. Okay. And if you come to sample solutions, there are a lot of reusable components or ready to use solutions available, basically templates available. When it comes to SharePoint, you have SharePoint Framework, web parts available, extensions available, and our one common or important thing is like a search, right? So in modern sites, modern team site or modern communication sites, like we are making use of the out-of-the-box search. In case where there is a need to customize the search, obviously many customers will be asking for modernizing the customizing the search, right? So we have something called PNP Modern Search, where it is a complete SharePoint framework solution, which you can reuse it and see how it fits to your organization. And in case if you want to customize it, still you will be able to customize that one. Okay. And the lookbook, so most of you would have been aware of lookbook, and it is also like a kind of a templates provided, basically lot of site templates provided in case if you want to showcase a demo to your customers, demo, right? In that case, what you can do is based on the department. Okay, there are a lot of templates available, and using that template you can provision the sites which will have all the components available, like SharePoint framework solutions, all the pages and everything will be available, and that you can make use of it. Okay, so quickly I'll just show you how it looks. 1 minute. SharePoint lookbook. Okay. Okay, so that multiple templates available based on the departments and other things. And you can just select the template like previously. How do we use the site templates or web templates? Similarly, you just use these templates and provision in the sites in your tenant. It takes little bit of takes time based on the number of components that are available in the design. Okay, so if you see here, department wise, you have a lot of templates available to provision the sites. But this is purely for demo purpose, not for any production related things. Okay. So this is also part of a sample solutions which is available. And coming to SDKs, there are a lot of packages and libraries available like a PNP JS, PNP Core SDK, and reusable React controls, property pane controls. So this is what we are going to focus here: reusable React controls and property pane controls. How you can use that controls and build your solutions, basically SharePoint framework solutions. Okay. So, and also you have PNP, SPFX, Yeoman generator, okay, Teams Yeoman generator. So when you want to build any solutions for your team, any custom solutions for your team, so you have, in order to just to creating the solution from the scratch, what you can do is you can make use of this Teams Yeoman generator, which creates all the folder structure, creates all the required files, and the structure will be created automatically with the help of this generator. So you don't need to do anything from your side. You just focus only on the implementation part. So these are the part of SDKs available. So most of you would know the PNP JS. So it is pretty much it is easy to use it because you don't need to write lot of n number of lines of code, right? So it will have just one line of code which you can make use of it. So we will see how we can use PNP JS also as part of when we are using these controls in the SharePoint framework. And also tools, if you see, you have Office 365 CLI and the PNP PowerShell commandlets. So Office 365 CLI, it is also you can use for upgrading your SharePoint framework solutions. Basically, there are commandlets available. So, and one more important thing is Office 365 CLI. It's not only specific to any platform like Windows or as a Mac or something like that. It can be used irrespective of any platform. Okay, and also PNP PowerShell commandlets. There are a lot of commandlets available. Okay, for PNP, not only for specific to SharePoint, but also Office 365 related things, basically. Right. So these are all part of PNP contributions, like PNP thing, community thing. Okay, so you have everything over here, and lot of updates are being done to this one since it's a like a kind of open source where community people work on it. So you will be keep on getting the updates over here. So there are a lot of reusable things which you can make use of it and which follows the best practices also. So coming to PNP reusable controls. So like if you are new to SharePoint framework, building solutions using SharePoint framework, or even if you are an experienced guys, like always, like instead of spending a lot of time to build any control, there are some reusable controls available as part of this PNP thing. Okay, so it's all React based controls that has been created, which will be helpful to build your SharePoint framework solutions. Okay, so it is basically a set of reusable controls to build your SharePoint framework solutions. It can be like a your web parts basically. Right. So in order to do this, this is like you need to install this particular package or module. Okay, npm install the rate pnp spfx controls. Okay, so which will give you all the controls that you can make use of it in your solution. Okay, so I'll quickly show you the mm, website where it is available. So this is the page like where you can see all the reusable React controls that can be used for your SharePoint framework solutions. Okay, so currently if you see, so there are these many controls available like carousels, chats, okay, combo box, list item picker, date time picker, and in case like a list view map. So you no need to start from the scratch to build any of these kind of controls. And these are all commonly used controls, and it will be keep on getting updated also. Recently, they have added a three view control. Okay, so like this, they will be keep on whenever there is any reusable kind of things, they and the community people will contribute it and it will be added over here, and it is really easy to use it, and they would have given a proper documentation also for this one. So for example, list picker. Okay, I'll just click on this list picker. If you see here, this allows like it's a kind of drop down where all the list in that particular site will be populated. Okay, instead of we writing the logic to it, the control is already available, which picks all the lists and libraries from that specific current site. Okay, so if you see here, there are multiple options available. You can select multiple list also, and you can see what are the things that needs to be imported over here. So they would have given a clear documentation, step by step, which what you need to do it. Okay, and what are the options available for that in order to configure based on your need. So this is for in order to make use of this list picker. So you need to import that. Before that, you need to run that npm package, whatever I have just mentioning you. Okay, sorry. So this one npm install, this needs to be executed, and then you need to import this in your webpack file. And then you can add the control like this, and you have all the options. So they have given the control kind of properties also, what are the properties and what you need to do with respect to each property. They would have given all the things. Okay, and even the whatever the events or whatever the methods that are there, those methods also they would have provided with an example. Okay, so these controls like this, these whatever the controls available, we can make use of these controls when you are building the SharePoint framework solutions instead of we are writing it our own logic. Okay, so quickly, if you see, I'll show what I did like what I've done is I've taken few of these controls, okay, and then I have just used it in the SharePoint framework solution, and I've added to the SharePoint page over here. So if I quickly go to this one, you can see here I've added a few controls over here, or few web parts like PNP web part title, map control, people picker, PNP security trim control. So like this, I've just added few controls over here. So we'll just take a look into one or two things, how it has been implemented. Okay, how we can update to the SharePoint list also using PNP JS. Okay, so we'll just see and also how to get the values and all those things. Okay, so if you see here, it's all this, for example, site breadcrumb. So you can no need to build any functionality like this. Okay, it automatically gives you the site breadcrumb for your web part also. Okay, so if you see, click here, it takes me to the previous thing, previous page, the Contoso team page. Okay, so like this, lot of things are available. Okay, which you can really reuse it in your SharePoint framework solution. So, like what we can do is I'll just open the code for one of these controls and then we'll go through it, like how it has been implemented. Okay, I'll take a PNP people picker control. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, so I have a title field, I have a project members, which is a people picker. And then once I submit it, it updates the item in a SharePoint list. Okay, so if I give something like here, it gives me a suggestion over here. So like a proper people picker. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. And once I click on submit, it just updates the item. So item got, so you can get a message over here. Item got created successfully. Okay. So this for this one pop-up, I'm just using Fluent UI. Okay. So if I go to this project detail SharePoint list, an item would have been created. So this is the item which has been created, test item, which I Okay, so what we will do, we'll quickly go to this particular source code and we'll see how this has been implemented. So meanwhile, I'll just open the documentation also over here, people picker. Okay, yeah. So once I'll just open this one, people picker here. So I'll go to this TS file, webpack file. So if you see the solution, I have already installed this npm package. Okay, and I have imported these two things, whatever it has been. So the people picker thing, I have just imported over here, people picker. Okay, and then if you see coming to this property, not a property. If you go to this component file, I have added this particular control. Okay, so this is where I have added this people picker. Okay, and in order to get the context, I'm using the props.context, so which will get the context of this one, and the remaining things, whatever based on your need, you can change the properties. Okay, not just mention anything. So, and after that, if you see, like I have just written a method to update it in the SharePoint list also. Need to create an item in the SharePoint list. right? So here, if you see, I'm just using the PNP JS. Okay, just it's a one line of code. I don't need to write too many lines of code in order to create a list item. With the help of PNP JS, it makes life easier. Okay, and it follows the best practices behind the screen, so you don't need to worry. Just I have used sp.web.list.get by title, and I'm adding the record to it. Okay, once it is done, that's it. We have not done any changes to it. It is pretty much have just reused this particular control in the solution and created this particular component. Okay, which will just where you can just enter the people picker value and submit it. It creates a record in the particular list. Okay. Similarly, you have something called security trim control. Basically, when you have multiple components available, and in case if you want to show or hide based on the permissions, then it is pretty straightforward thing to use this particular control. PNP security trimmed. Okay, what I will do, I'll just show you quickly on this PNP security trimmed also. I'll just go to this one. So you need to import whatever the required things, and then you just make use of this control over there. Okay, so if I go here, yeah, basically this is how. So you will have a level also. We can where you can mention who has to view this permission level dot current web permission level. So all these things are clearly provided, and there's a property in the security trim control. So if you see here, I'll just quickly show you what are the options available for the security trim. Okay, so these are all different permissions available on the current site, on the current list, on the remote site. Okay, and the remote list or libraries. So based on your need, you can hide and show the components basically with the help of this particular control. Okay, and even if you see datetime picker, so you have a datetime picker. I created one form like this where I can enter all the details, and I have the datetime picker also. Okay, so you don't need to write any sort of logic around this. Just reuse this particular control. That's it. Okay, and you have like a, as I mentioned, like list picker control. So basically it populates all the list and libraries which is available within this current site. Okay, so if it's I've just written a functionality based on the selection of this, and if I want to delete it, I can just delete it. So it asks me a pop-up kind of thing. So all these things are implemented using Fluent UI, and once I click on delete, that particular list will be deleted. Similarly, you have list item picker control also. For this particular thing, you need to provide the list ID and everything. So what I have done is I have just used the property pane where I am just getting the list ID and list ID and the field name for that one. So based on that, like if you see, just if you need click type something, it returns all the values from that particular list, basically from that particular column. Okay, I'll quickly open that particular component also, list item picker. So yeah, when you edit this particular page, I have given everything in the property panes. Basically, you need to provide three information. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you this one. So I given the list ID, what is the column internal name, and what is item limit. So when you go to this control, there is a property available over there. So yeah, what is a list ID, what is the internal name, and what is the item limit. So all these things, what I'm doing is getting from the props value. Basically, I've set it in the like in the when the editable in the property pane itself. Okay, so instead of hard coding some values, you can make use of it like this. Okay. So this is how like we can reuse the existing controls when we are building the solutions. So there are like all these things have been, we are using the reusable React controls only, even for the map also. So I'll just republish this. Yeah. Okay. So this is also part of the PNP map control. Okay. And yeah, web part title also, you can edit the web part title. Generally, when you have a SharePoint framework component, you will not have the web part title. Like in this case, if you want to edit it, so here you will be able to, you have an option to edit this web part title and all those things. Okay. And also it provides an option to see all in case if you want to redirect to a different page where all the details are available. So you have a see all option also available. Okay. So similarly, like we have now currently we have seen this PNP React reusable controls, right? Similarly, we have the property controls also, property pane controls, like which means that in the web part properties, right? Whenever you are editing a web part, SharePoint Framework solution, SharePoint Framework web part, and you want to have the controls over there, right? So in this case, if you see, this is a control, right? This is a field that you have. So in case if you want to have the custom controls, there are also reusable controls for this one. Okay, like for example, people picker or list picker. So like that, there are a certain set of reusable controls available, which you can use it in the property pane. Okay, so quickly, I'll just go through that one also. I'll just open this demo first. I'll show you a demo. Yeah. So if you go here, property pane controls, right? So in this case, if you see, I'll just edit this particular web part. Okay, so you can see here, I have just added these two controls, which are the custom controls or the reusable controls. Okay, select a list. Okay, whatever the list which is currently available in this particular site will be shown over here. So these are the list and libraries which are available as part of the site. Okay, and also you can see the property field people picker. Okay, so in case if you want to have any people picker value over here, okay, based on your need when you want to set any values, so you have it over here. Okay, so these two controls again, like we no need to write any logic around this. Okay, just you can the controls which are available, you can reuse this one, reuse it. Okay, so I'll quickly open that particular URL also and show you what are the controls available as part of this one. It's available here. Okay, so if you see here again, like in order to make use of this particular property pane controls, obviously you need to install this one, npm install this at the rate pnp spfx property controls. And once you install this one, there are a lot of controls available as part of this one. Like if you can see here, property field code editor, property field collection data, field color picker, field list picker, all those things. Okay, so once you go here, again, the proper documentation, how you have seen in the previous one, you have a proper documentation, and just you need to import the right module, okay, modules to your component, and then they would have given what exactly has to be done, like what are the things that you can add it over here. Okay, so and also the properties, all the following properties would have been given, what changes that you need based on your needs, you can do it. Okay, I'll quickly open this particular code also and show you this one. So if you see, this is the thing which I have created, where I have used the list picker and the people picker. Okay, so I'll quickly go here. So once you have installed the required module, then what you need to do is just you import it. So I have already imported these things. Okay, so for the list picker and the people picker, so these are the two modules that I have imported. Okay, these are the modules that needs to be imported, and once it is imported in the webpack file wherever we are seeing, so you need to add the props also like this. Okay, so this one you need to add it. This one is for list, is for the list picker, and the people is for the people picker. So once you add this one, then if you navigate down, you go to the property pane configuration. Under the groups, you can directly add these things like property field list picker. I've just added this one, and also similarly, like I've added for the people picker also. Once you have done with that, just you need to bundle the solution and the package it, and then you need to just deploy it like as you are doing for the rest of the solutions. So this is how you can add the property pane controls also, or you can. This is how you will be reusing the controls which is available over there. Okay, and if you go to this one, so this is how you will be seeing it in the property pane. When you are editing it, you will see all these custom controls, reusable controls over here. Okay, so for each and every control, all the required properties and what needs to be imported, and all the information will be provided. And as you see, again coming to this PNP thing, so all the required information is available in this particular PNP GitHub.io. Okay, community calls, guidance. Okay, guidance. If you see, these are the things that is currently available. Sharing is carrying community content and all those things, samples and solutions. Okay, so all the links and the solutions or tools, everything, whatever is required, it is available in this particular page. Okay, even you can start like in case if you have any such kind of a reusable controls, definitely like you can also publish those controls. Okay, and the tools you will see here, these are the tools that are available, and also in GitHub there are a lot of SPFX solutions like web parts and extensions are available. Okay, so quickly going through it. So these are the resources basically available. Okay, getting started videos, like we have a webinar series that has been conducted. Like there are set of SharePoint framework webinars available over here. And for the PNP thing, so you have this one github.io where you can find all the required information, and the JS library also. Like this is the one where you can get started with JS library and the SPFX controls. And even for the property pane controls, you will have all the information from this PNP things. So instead of like doing or writing from your own, like you can really make use of this to build your SharePoint framework solutions. Okay, and there are good few blocks where they have a lot of samples like this. Okay, so Mindran, I can even share that as part of this slide deck. Okay, where you can see a lot of samples related to this PNP reusable controls and PNP related things. It is available. Yeah. So this is the quick overview or a quick thing on how you can make use of this PNP reusable solutions and the controls that are available.